What is a spiritual experience? Are the words spirit and spiritual too nebulous to be useful? Spirit doesn't seem to refer to anything physical in us.
Spirit doesn't seem to be the same as consciousness, since consciousness refers to the relatively mundane, fundamental quality of being alive as a human, just being aware of one's own existence. Spirituality seems to go deeper than that, and seems to be a more unique experience.
Spiritual and religious are similar.
Both are concerned with the supernatural, but religious implies doctrines while spiritual seems doctrine-free and personal.
My best guess is that to be spiritual means we sense that there is something supernatural about our lives. A conviction that there are real experiences to be had by humans that can't be explained by laws of nature. The closest I've come to a spiritual experience in my life was hearing a guitar solo while I was under the influence of marijuana. I know how typical this sounds. I was 17 years old and the guitar solo sounded archetypal, authoritative, and evocative of feelings I didn't even have analogs for. So maybe that's my definition of spiritual: archetypal, authoritative, evocative of feelings I don't yet have personal analogs for. Archetypal because it sounded simultaneously simple and perfect, like the subsuming form for countless different expressions. But again, I don't know. I am asking because I simply have no idea what a spiritual experience is. The more clearly I try to define it, the more unclear it seems.
Spiritual for me was connecting with something greater than myself. Before meditation, my world was limited to just me and my experience. My worldview was limited only what I had gone through. Meditation helped me to widen that lens. I started to see how we all suffer, how we just want to be happy, how this experience isn't just limited to me. I used to think I was unique. Now I see that I am connected to every living thing in this universe. That connection is a spiritual experience to me. Knowing that I am connected to everything else in this world. Knowing that I wasn't different, cut off, and isolated from everybody else. I get that same spiritual feeling when I am in nature, by the ocean, when I see people laughing or struggling. I see it everywhere now. Before I couldn't see beyond my own suffering and limited experience.
A spiritual experience is usually some kind of stressful or emotionally intense moment after which informs the story of one's life. For religious folks, this is often something like a baptism or a dedication. For secular people, it's often a physical thing like rock climbing or scaling a mountain. People who've been to space almost universally describe looking at the Earth as a kind of spiritual experience. https://end, wikipedia.org/wiki/overview_effect. I've known a bunch of folks who've had what they described as spiritual experiences while on psychedelics. Anyways, the only meaning life has is that which you brought to it. Truly embracing that is often very liberating.
Traditional Chinese systems of health and meditation define spirit quite clearly as the capacity to be present in reality. For most people, almost all of the time, the thinking and grasping mind jumps and wanders here and there, projecting the person into unreal times and scenarios. There is almost always an inner dialogue covering up real experience, almost always wrong assumptions about the nature of the world in which we live. By this definition, spirit allows one to remain stable, perceive clearly, and, in more esoteric branches of practice, connect personal energy to universal energy. The more common usage of spirit/spiritual refers to non-ordinary realities and subtle energies involved in transcendence, going beyond the usual self-centered view of life that is the cause of so many troubles, from personal angst and depression, to family strife, to war, genocide, and ecocide. So basically, that which addresses how we fall out of correct relationship with life. These non-ordinary realms and energies were in ancient times ascribed to unseen entities, gods, protectors, etc. In contemporary times many people see these realms and energies as dimensions of mind. In either case, they amount to forces beyond those commonly available to us, forces that seem to influence life beyond our circle of awareness. Spiritual pursuit often involves addressing these forces one way or another, through supplication, divination, contemplation, or by broadening and deepening the awareness. The definition of spirituality in psychological fields since Jung tends to be along the lines of bringing the unconscious to consciousness.
Well, first of all, the expression, can't be explained by laws of nature, doesn't make any sense. When something is explained, we call the explanation a law sometimes. There is no fixed group of laws of nature. Spirituality sometimes signifies the belief in spirits, something like souls, ghosts, and sometimes just means the exploration of one's own mind. Sam Harris suggests that it should only be used in the latter sense. I'm not sure whether that is wise, since spirit is already in the word.